a youth cannot access services properly. Bila discrimination, bila stigma.
Through drug abuse, there is increased chances of youths contracting STIs and HIV/AIDS.
Young people living with disabilities, I feel they are a bit ignored because you find out that we often assume they are not sexually active.
I encourage them, twende tufanywe test. Ukipata kenye umepata, jiweke. Ama ukipata na inakusumbua, tushare.
Merapi County is very passionate about services offered for young people in HIV, sexual reproductive health, mental health, and gender-based violence. As a county, we have sat down and thought of ways of engaging the young people in finding solutions to some of the issues and challenges they face in provision of the healthcare services.
Our main objectives was for us to have a discussion on what they already know, what they don't know, and their perceptions about the services that we offer or can get, and at the same time the challenges that they are facing, both within the facility and within the community.
Discuss about communication on problems related to sexual and reproductive health.
So what are some of the factors in Kenya the young people don't access services in our public facilities?
When you go to a facility and you are having like you're visually impaired or you are disabled, you can't be able to access someone who understands you.
Most of the time youths are more afraid to accessing healthcare services because of the age difference within the healthcare facilities.
Judging is the first thing that really puts the youth down, because if you start judging a youth coming for ARTs, the person will never come again.
So a youth cannot access services properly. Bila discrimination, bila stigma, bila any kuangaliwa ni kama anafanya makosa ama juu ni young.
It's the absence of youth-friendly services and also lack of confidentiality and dignity. They may shout the diseases that these youths are suffering from.
Another one is attitude on the medical officers in the facilities.
Anytime wanaingia into a facility to source for these services, kuna zile spears zenye wanatupiwa na the healthcare providers.
Based on the LGBT community, if they're going for the medication for an STI screening and it's onwards, the questions start arising. How did you get this?
We know generally young people are not that kind of people who are patient. Most of them feel like our services are not friendly for them, or they do not really meet their needs.
We are finding more and more people, young people, actually getting infected or affected by HIV. And this includes the adolescents, and some of them are below the age of 18 years. And some of them also are what we call the key populations. So they are either female sex workers or MSMs or persons who are injecting drugs.
Most young people think that so long as I am the main boyfriend, we are not supposed to be using condom. If we are using condom or you bargain for safe sex, then that perceives you as promiscuous, cheating.
I will make you fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men if you follow.
The reasons why you want it is first an information. Ingine ina improve your communication with your peers, ina improve ownership and inclusiveness.
So you're looking at care and treatment for those who are HIV positive. At the same time, you're looking at protecting those who are HIV negative, and that's where the issue of or the aspect of pre-exposure prophylaxis comes in.
Whatever the county is doing now today is one of the solutions, because we can't just come up with solutions without knowing the person being affected's point of view of how the solution is supposed to work. So we should have first like FGDs or just discussions, a baseline analysis of what is happening in the facility first. Once you have the baseline analysis, now call in the men and young boys to understand what don't you get in the facility, how are you treated.
Anakwambia niko na testing hapa, enda kujitest kwa room. Sasa nyinyi mnajitest leo, na je jana kufanya nini? Hata mimi
ukimwambia ni 10,000 ukifanya na CD ili atakwambia na kupe 50 bila CD.
Most people, the young people, don't want really to go seek HIV testing at the VCT. So how best can we increase testing?
They were saying that maybe if I come get tested with my partner, and my partner, I am positive, my partner is negative, wanna trace my previous.
So out of these group discussions, we will get to understand what are the challenges the young people are facing in terms of testing.
So some of the challenges are mostly cultural, structural, and sometimes policy issues that are existing in the facilities. So the structural challenge where that facilities just covering the general population.
We realize some of the young people who are on Kent, some are not even taking their medication. Some are afraid to walk in the facilities and get their medication.
When they come there and they find an older person, they will not feel free to open up to them. So at the youth desk, there should be a youth who is there to represent them or to take them to the health care.
We as Youth Advisory Council, it's our mandate to ensure that young people's voices are being amplified.
Stigma is very high in schools. Some are not ready to even say they are on care and treatment in their schools.
Because the majority of them, when they're in boarding, they hide the medication. So nobody knows they're taking the drugs. But if they're able to open up maybe to a counselor in the school, they'll be supported to take their drugs.
They gave us positive feedback. There was also negative feedback, which was welcomed. We were looking at quality of services, whether there's communication of the same within the households, within the facilities. We're looking at mental health, physical health, emotional health, whether they know their drugs, their rights in regards to the services that we give.
So we are really doing outreaches for the young people under the sexually productive health outreaches where we do integrated services.
Yes. If I were the president at the time, the two people, I'd isolate them, yes, and then now people are screening at every entry point to Kenya. Like no one else will enter with it, and if they do, you can manage it.
Are you with me? Yes. Sexual activities that came out, photo shoot, scanty dressing, kissing, touching bodies, leading to unplanned, careless sexual activities. The gap between parenting and information given to young people about very important aspects in our life is not there.
The way forward for us is we'll be able to strengthen the positives that we've had. The gaps that we've also identified from this FGD, we'll be able to put them into place, have the objectives, and have a way forward on them.
As youths and young people, we should be motivated enough to go after what we want for ourselves. And after that, we should go back and empower others as well to follow your path.
We will avert so many teenage pregnancies. We will avert the new infections of HIV among people. We will improve on terms of adherence to care and treatment, and this will help us now give the best services for the young people in Nairobi County.